Hey guys, Thomas from Team Soccer Ryzeal here, coming at you guys with another Saturday night live Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch for you guys. You guys loved the last one when I uploaded it late Saturday night. I actually love uploading videos at nighttime more, so I might actually do that every Saturday from now on to give you guys that third Market Watch since you guys enjoy that. Just remember, if you appreciate that, smash that like button. If we get 100 likes on this video, that'd be great. We're getting about 80 to 90 likes on the video, so we need a little more of that push to get to 100 likes per video. So make sure to smash that, as well as that notification bell, because sometimes my videos don't go out. I have videos that do really well, and then I have videos that are, in my opinion, a bit better than my usual market watches, and they don't do so hot. So you guys want this information early, because even in the last market watch, there was some awesome information about crossover breakers that people do not know. So go check that video out and hit that notification bell. Subscribe if you've not already. Welcome to my new subs. I've actually been getting quite a few recently, and I want to say welcome. Thank you for being on board, and thank you for giving, my channel a chance and just being here. I really love hearing from everybody as well, including my new subscribers. So don't be afraid to drop a comment. It could be a question. It could be what to go over next market watch. I especially love that second one. If you agree or disagree on either the opinion I have on my market watches, I love to hear it. Check out my sponsors in the description below, which is TCG Player. Use my link, my affiliate link. You get to help the channel to no additional cost to you if you're buying anything on TCG Player. Whatnot, use my link down in the description below, and to make an account, you get $50 on your next purchase, and they have Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and more. So go check that out, as well as my socials, and join the Discord. And we're gonna get right into this here. So Ryzeal Detonator, there's some Ryzeal rulings that you guys need to know that I'm gonna get into this next card, but the QC's bought out one listing, 175. Now, people aren't spending that, but I can tell you right now, that with this set crossover breakers, the real value is going to be in the QCs. The CRs aren't max rarity, so I don't really have a lot of faith in those, and the QCs are one per case. So if people say want a set of QCs, or they want max rarity Ryzeal, max rarity Maliss, yeah, it's going to be really expensive with one QC per case. So that's why I think crossover breakers is going to hold a lot of that value. Definitely something to keep your eye out on. Then Ryzeal Cross. With YCS ANAHEIM going on right now, I actually ended up watching a bit of it. And guys, I am going to be honest. I've always talked about how bad the quality of our judges are in the game. For the last 5 years, it's been really bad. I have thought of a lot of it being the judges don't like to play modern Yu-Gi-Oh as much, so they don't know the rulings, they don't keep up, it's preparation, but I also think some of it's corruption. I've always said that, right? I always think that they have issues with it, because there's just so many moments in Yu-Gi-Oh history where you see 4 judges looking at something that your average player would catch, and they just don't catch it. It constantly happens. A great example, my 2 favorite examples are Infirm versus Apollosa when they had top 32 back when the card came out, and with Dark Ruler No More, where someone OTK'd through Dark Ruler No More, and it was a pro player. I'm not going to say who, but the judges didn't catch that, and he just ended up winning a game, not the match, but winning a game because of that. And it was just, I really dislike that. And the next one here is a lot of stuff with how Ryzeal Cross works and Node. The people in the live YCS ANAHEIM kept saying about how the judges are ridiculous because the misplay that was caught was so bad, it's not even funny. You guys are going to be hearing about it for the next week. But what I want to go over, which is a little more confusing, is the one with Ryzeal Cross. Now, I want to go on the second effect here. Now, the CRs, by the way, are 30. I actually don't think these are that bad at 30, because this card does not have a QC, so this is your max rarity here. Very cool artwork, by the way. So, once per turn, when a monster effect is activated by your opponent resolves, you can detach a material from the Ryzeal XYZ monster control if you do negate that effect. Now, it says resolve, so a lot of players are getting confused. Let's say you activate Fenrir effect to search, right? So Fenrir searches, right? On resolution, you can activate Ryzeal Cross, and you would not search. This card was made to prevent chain blocking, and not prevent chain blocking, but I should say to deal with chain blocking. So if you have a chain like 1, 2, 3, and it resolves, you would activate Cross on resolution, in order to stop whatever you want. I remember I was at a locals yesterday, and I actually saw this, and this is how it's worded. It's worded very weirdly in order because of that. I actually talked to some people, and they're like, yeah, seems like how it works. So if I'm wrong about this, you guys can also let me know in the comment section, sure. But I've asked around, I saw the ruling live, and this is kind of how it is. It's very oddly worded. I believe the judge at Anaheim are just messing up everything. Not just this, but everything else, like with node searches and all that. So keep an eye out on that. Now, Maliss White Rabbit QC, if you have these, go ahead and move it. For if you get 300, move it. Like, this is too ridiculous at 400. Nobody's buying it at 400. They're buying it at 170, 180. 400, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Maliss Q Heart. These are 140. I actually did want one of these. They were about 100, 110. This card is relatively a little higher, but very low on listings. This is also a one of. I personally think with all the max ready cards you could pull and all this, I think Maliss Q Heart could definitely go down to about $70, $80, because right now you're only playing one copy of this card. And people are, you know, while they want it, some people just want the low rarity of this. They don't really care about the high rarity. Although some people might want to just get this QC and be done. I actually think that's where I'm at, because I don't want the QCs and the CR of all the other Maliss cards. I think I'm happy with just maybe getting the quote-unquote boss monster, aka just this card, as a QC and kind of being done with it. That's kind of how I see it. Because sometimes I go for max ready extra deck and I call it a day there. Maliss and Underground QC here. These are almost $200. This is the QC I actually wanted to pull specifically, because I really, really think it's cool. But I pulled a very good QC anyway. But yeah, these are $200, bought out completely. We're seeing a lot of Ryzeal and Maliss at Anaheim. I mean, people, play with the decks. Wow, that surprise factor. I was actually shocked to see how much of it was there. Ice Ryzeal QC, these are 220, 255. We will have the top 32, by the way, of that on hopefully Monday's Market Watch, because I'm very interested to see it. X Ryzeal QC, these are 140, 150 for your QCs. Okay, not bad. You have Sword Ryzeal QC at 190 up to 200. You have Maliss White Rabbit CR. These are 150. Yeah, if I'm telling you this right now, if QCs were selling the last at most 180, the CR is not going to sell at 150. As you see here in the sales history, yeah, people are willing to spend up to $90 for one copy here. Most people, they're looking at 65, 70 per copy. And I think that's very fair, personally. I love this card. I'm really glad I kept my Maliss stuff. I'm considering even moving it just because of how high it is. For the Ultras, which we have pulled up here. CRs, by the way, of her are 75. Cheesy Cat's only 50, luckily, so it's not that bad. I actually like this CR the most. I really love this. I love the see-through dress, right? I love the artwork so much. It kind of reminds me of Madoka Magica. And if you guys don't know, Madoka Magica is a very old-school goated anime. A lot of people attribute the credit to the 3-episode rule for anime. You watch 3 episodes, you're done, to that series because of how it's structured. And it kind of reminds me of that. And I really, really like that. I love when archetypes remind me of something from when I was young and I watched it. It was really, really cool. Maliss P White Rabbit is $45.50 for your ultra rares. Very, very cool here for these. I thought these would be a lot cheaper here, but as you guys see, they're about, now you see walls at $19.30. And then 30 here. There still is a big supply of these cards, but right now a lot of people want these cards. The demand is hot. I think with the pull rates, this is definitely a card that it cannot sustain these prices. It's gonna go down. I don't really believe in the $50 it is right now. For same with the field spell, 41, 43 here. One tech that I am also seeing a lot of people play is Frame Gear Delta. Now, you could play 2 or even 3 copies of this, but you can also put in 1 Gamma as well, even though it is limited. And I actually think that's a pretty good idea. If you guys don't know, this just negates the spell. I always think that this card is pretty good, honestly, as a hand trap, because you could actually negate, say, a field spell off this. And I think that's the best way to use Delta, is wait for a field spell to act when it's activated. I think that's the best way, personally, from my testing. But right now, supers, you see them at 6s here, but they go up to 7, 8 right here. They were 8s earlier, going up to $9, $10. We might as well pull up aggregator as well for Ryzeal. I'm not shocked that this card is this much. Personally, I believe that this card could be in Stampede, but I don't think it's as popular or not. I told people get these at dollars, $2, because this card can easily hit 5 to 10. I give it that 5 10 because if rares could be 15, 16, then the hollows could easily be 10. And as you guys see here, yes, the supers are 6s, but this card's been hyped up a lot up and down. I don't think this has a high chance to get a QC. Not too sure about any reprint, but definitely a high chance to get a QC. I don't really see that because Stampede, I mean, it depends on where they want to put it, all that. If they put in main set, nostalgia set, all that. But definitely a card that you might want to be looking at for the next format. Diviner of the Herald ulti here. These are 17s, but they do go up to $22. So this card is finally actually going up to have some sort of value. The ultis on the next page do go up to 40, but again, there's that wall for 25. I think I'm going to settle at the $25 mark. That's where I think this card could easily go. If you guys got these at $11 to $12, maybe even $13, like I had in my 5 cards out of your trade binder, which, guys, we got a spicy one for the next market watch. I think you guys are not market watch. For the next 5 cards out of your trade binder, you guys are going to be really excited for that. If you guys know what that is, by the way, it is 5 cards I go over that I tell you why you should get them in depth, how many, why, the implications, what I think the number could go to. So it's like a more in-depth market watch. So you guys are going to want to check that out when it is available. And then aggregator here is about 6s, going up to about, it really isn't holding, it's breaking the $5 wall. It really wants to. You see it up here at $9. Definitely something to keep an eye out on. I'm glad I have my copies from Darkwing Blast. I never got rid of them. So very happy to see that. Dominus Impulse here, another card that's seeing quite a bit of play as well. These are 60, 61, with the quarter centuries being about 180, but you got one here for 156. A little cheaper here. If you know somebody and they're valuing it at 156, 160, they want to get rid of it for 140, even 130, might be the play here for that card. Dominus Purge here. These are $30, $31. I really like this card. I think both cards can easily hit 50, 60s and interchange. Same with 70. Because it just depends on what decks are being played right now. That's all it depends for what Dominus is going to have a lot of value. And a lot of people are kind of missing that fact. And then do we have the QC pulled up? Okay, we don't have the QC pulled up. So let's pull up the QC very quickly. And while we're pulling up the QC, which, by the way, these are $100, you're going up to 105. I remember when I told people grab these at 50, 55. And if you grab them at 50, 55, congrats, because they're 100 going up to about 110, 130 here. You've already doubled your money, and I don't think that the profit is done. Now, if you guys enjoy all my knowledge, remember to hit that like button. Guys, it really helps me, especially in the algorithm. It has been a very rough year when it comes to just not only life in general, but, you know, views, growth, all that. So if you guys really do love what I'm doing here, hitting that like button, being subscribed, leaving a comment, even if it's nice market watch, which a few of you have done, which I always heart those comments because I appreciate it. I know you guys are also trying to help me out, leave comments, interactivity, and I really do appreciate that. I really, really do. And it can also be cards that I'm going over next market watch, because I love when you guys tell me buyouts I'm not looking at, or you want my opinion on the card. I mean, you guys see that I have a pretty good track record with these cards. So if you ever want a question on a card, I mean, it's free knowledge as well. You might as well ask it, right? There's no harm in asking. Pot of Greed, these are the ultra rares over here. Someone said that these were going to be bought out during the Cyber weekend, and I completely forgot someone said that. And right now they're 32, 35 here. And the sales data history here shows that they were selling like crazy before the Cyber weekend. But yeah, $20, $30 here, 35 going up to 40. This card could definitely be a lot, but this card is not a card that is supposed to be very populated anyway. So it's very hard for me to see an accurate price here, but these are 30 right now. The QCs, these are 250 right here. Pretty insane. Ultis, which I prefer ultis way, way more. These are $37, $40, going up to 65. So if you guys want some cheaper ulti pot of greeds, you got them before they go up to $65, $70 here. 40 is not that bad either. First eds, now these are 75, going up to 105. Not a bad card, especially to grab either. Oh, I had Dominus Pierce QC pulled up just incorrectly. Now, Free Reign, if you guys don't know, I absolutely adore this anime. Definitely one of my top 20. I've watched a lot of anime, so I don't like giving out to a top 10 very easily, but I love the fantasy genre. I'm not a big fan of isekai. I really like fantasy much, much more, personally, because I think isekai, it's just tiring. But that's not what I'm going for here. I want to show that this card, about $700. And then you also have Fern. I know you guys love anime, so I might as well show some at the $2.95 for these signed cards. The good thing about Weiss is they have signed cards. And something I want to actually ask you guys is, what do you think if signed cards, like, and I mean official signatures like this, where they actually print the signature on it, it came to Yu-Gi-Oh? That's the question of the day, because I really, really want to know what you guys thoughts is. That is something I would really love. I don't like how people have Sharpie and they put it on expensive cards. I'm not a big signature guy unless it's a cheap card. Like, I wouldn't get a Ghost or Black Rose signed by, let's say, the Akiza voice actor. Nothing against her, nothing. I just think that it's too expensive to put Sharpie on. That's just how I see it. They have the structure decks, by the way. You got 6 here, and they're like 20 each. If you guys don't know, there is a chance you get a signed card when you get these structure decks. And Konami is doing something new with our structure decks, where we're getting, I believe it's like a QC, I believe it was, possibly for them. So people are actually going to invest in these structure decks. And it's something that I want to ask you guys. Do you guys think that's something that would be great to bring to the TCG? Stratos here, QC, these are $53 here for your Stratos. They're very popular. I mean, it's a hero card. You got to play them everywhere. Honestly, these plats at $2, I think it's really good to get these plats at $2. I think these plats could go to like $5-10 over time. Toon Blackluster Soldier QC, these are about 11s. I know these are part of the main set, $10, but this is definitely a card that can easily go up in value, because we're going to get Toon support eventually. I know we're going to get some Toon related cards, and I am wondering if this card can go up even further, because this is very good in Toons. This would be played in as 3. And honestly, I love this artwork a lot. This is definitely a card that I have not seen much, even though I believe it's part of the main set. Please correct me if I'm wrong about that. $10 is just way too cheap for this. Definitely a card I'm looking at. Nightmare Apprentice, this is going up because there's a lot of Orcus builds that are actually trying to play this right now, as well as Illusions in general are getting more and more popular with the support on the horizon. And right now, these are getting bought out at $25, going up to $30 still. I know that $35.50. I know that LEDE isn't everyone's favorite set. This set has very much tanked in its value. Boxes are way too much at 60. I cannot recommend that when we have a lot of QCs that can't push 40. I mean, look at this as a big surplus of QCs here in this set. Like, the most expensive secret, yeah, you got 25, but then you got Varudas, which I think I have pulled right up here, or I have it pulled up somewhere. No, I don't actually. So we're gonna go over Varudas here, because this is also about, these secrets are $26 to $35. Wow, that is actually a lot of money here for your Varudas, because they will not sell, because the QC here is 57. So going up here, if you want a QC at 57, you definitely got access to it right here. Nightmare Princess QCs, these are about 112 here, so keep that in mind. Chimera, just a cool little card I want to go over here, $42 here. I think a lot of players love playing this deck, but it just didn't have the strength to really push as a mainstay in the game. It really didn't, and it's kind of unfortunate. Herald of Orange Light, ultis, these are $53. 53, I don't know why I repeated it. These were 70. This card, I haven't seen this card this low in a very long time. I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be in Stampede. However, if you want ulti for Edison, especially with how many fairy decks you could play, including Light Swarms with that build, I think that this card can easily go up in the future, because 50 for an ulti of this, ultis match Edison quite a bit. I think that this card at 50 is actually fine to pick up, even if it gets a QC, which I actually want to go over the supers as well. A lot of people are actually buying out the supers as well. Let's find those OTS supers here. We go near mint here. Yep, about $4 here still for these. There's just a big surplus of this card here. That's interesting. This super rare, okay, so is $2. I don't know why that's $2, but I guess it is. Black Metal Dragon from OTS 6 here. These are still $28 if you did not know. I went over this buyout about last week. It's still as high as ever. This is a card that I think is worth the QC. If it's getting bought out constantly, like multiple times a year this gets bought out, this card needs a reprint as another holo ASAP. Ulti Zeus is here. These have been going up. We've actually kept an eye out on these during the weekend. I said, look, this is a card to grab at 20s. Always grab this at 20s, even 30. And right now you got 27, 30, 35, 40, 45, 48 here. So these ultis, they are zooming up here. You got 4 copies here, but the sales history, as you guys see here, 3 copies sold today. 4 copies sold yesterday. And then this is just selling like hotcakes in December. If this keeps going up about 2 weeks, $50 card. Easily. Not even 2 weeks, maybe. 53. It all just depends on which days are constantly hitting that 3-piece. Ecclesia here. You got cheap copies at $5, $6 here. Even $8 if you want to grab these, because I want to show those up because this card does go up to about $11 here. So if you want an Ecclesia set for basically 55%, I thought I might as well show this here to you guys. Hey, this card exists. If you want a cheaper playset, I got you. QCs, these are also like $8, $9 here for your QCs. Not bad at all for this card. Before, actually, I want to go over another card after we go over this Dogmatika stuff. So, sorry about that, guys. Maximus here. QCs are $15. I still think the Schism package is quite strong. I actually really, really like it. It's definitely something to consider in decks where you can use it. I think Dogmatika could definitely still hang. Sorry, guys. It's cold out, allergy season. But I still think the Dogmatika package is still good. In fact, Schism, QCs, if you guys don't know, these are like $2. Definitely something I would absolutely grab at $2. Ultras are at like $4, going up to $5. Just keep an eye on this because this card definitely goes up and down. However, it is due for a reprint. It's been over about 3 years. The Near Servant, these secret rares are $5s for your OGs, which is not bad at all. However, the QCs here are $22, which is quite a bit here. Nothing wrong with OGs, but your QCs at $22, that's a lot of money. Personally, I don't know if I want QCs at $22. That's just me, though. Blue Eyes White Dragon QC, a lot. I want to go over this and compare these two for our last one of the day. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about that at all. The tablet, not the tablet, but the tin version is $24. Go up to $25. Yes, there's a wall of $149, but people are buying this like hotcakes. They do not care about the other one because a lot of people prefer this artwork over this LOD version. Now, I actually like this version just as much. I love both versions a lot. I would gladly take both. I rated them very high in my Blue Eyes tier list, which I actually uploaded that a long time ago. $145 for your copies here. When these were 60s, I think they were a lot better, but the $140, $150, it's for 1/6 of its price, right? 1/6. Or to make it even better, for half the price of this, you could get a set of these. And that's why a lot of people are more opting. I think the bridge is going to get closer from this to this, even though it's a tin card. A lot of people like what they like. So just keep an eye out for this. With that being said, guys, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe. Let me know what cards I'm going over in the next Mark Watch in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. 100 likes again. Thank you to my YouTube channel members as well, by the way. Consider being a YouTube channel member. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.